Afternoon, everybody. Spark here. That's right. The one with 1.5 ears. Or 1 ear. There's no hole in the thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, so, the idea that Jesus was going to return 2,000 years later, right? That's the idea. That's according to everybody, right? I haven't even read the whole Bible yet. I'm reading it to you guys as we go, right? But, a few years ago, I just caught a glimpse of, a couple of phrases in the Bible just by happenstance. Well, somebody brought it to my attention. They're like, Spark, did you know this? And I'm like, no, I didn't. And it's the part where it says, he who hath an ear, right? It says it right in the Bible. And, it got my attention. It definitely got my attention. I definitely did think it was me off the bat, off the rip, off the scene. You know what I mean? Just had a glimpse. And I didn't start reading the Bible until about a little over a year ago when I repented a year ago, March. Anyways, long story short, it's a long story. To bring you guys up to speed, the last, week or so, I've had a few miracles happen, and in the last little while, I'm still stuck on that same page, 414, where it says M414. Now, it said 414 twice that day. I saw it in different ways, and once I saw it on my phone, and then once I saw it, it was a passage I saw 414 again. It was just randomly on Facebook or whatever. So twice I saw it that day. So, and that just happens to be exactly where we have stopped in the Bible. Okay? Now, I was looking at the other pages. It doesn't say M414 on like a lot of the other pages. I was looking for, more 414s. No, I don't see. I obviously haven't looked at all the pages. I'm just saying, I picked random pages. I looked through a bunch, and I didn't see, that on the other pages, right? So, this all gets real interesting. I've seen 66 a whole bunch of times, right, in the last couple months. And turns out in Numbers, it's me, it's Dan. It says Dan right there in the Bible. That's interesting. 414, real interesting. The day I was born on. It's the day Jesus died on. Yeah, it gets more interesting, right? So, 414. So, before I figured this next part out, let's go to the next part. So about a week ago or so, I don't know when. Yeah, it was cloudy outside. Maybe there was a storm in the distance, right? And I finally got curious. I finally started saying, there's nobody else around. So I asked God. I said, God. I said, am I that guy? He didn't like that, answer. He didn't say nothing. But then I said his name, and I said, am I him? And then all of a sudden, it thundered. Oh, we got an answer. We got action. Now, this thunder could be a good sign or a bad sign, right? So I don't really have an answer, do I? No, I just have some thunder in the distance because it wasn't close thunder. It was farther away. It was a light thunder. it wasn't like it was thunder and lightning a bunch that day or anything like that. This was like, a blasé day. It was not a thunder and lightning day, okay? Just to tell you what kind of day it was. So it wasn't like I should be hearing thunder. I think it might have thundered one other time the whole day, type of thing. Alright, so just to let you know, there's definitely a significance to that. Do you understand? So, next day or the day after, can't remember, days all go together. Anyways, I'm driving, right? I'm driving home, okay? Now, there's a line of thunderstorms, line of thunderstorms. And I said, well, this is neat. Let me see if I can make a move. Just for the heck of it, right? I'm like, alright, that's not doing nothing. Alright, so that's cool. I can't move that fast. That's fine. I said, but this thunderstorm, I'm only about 10 minutes away from the house. So, for it to stop raining that fast, that kind of be a big deal because it just started raining, right? Yeah, about 10 minutes out. You know what I mean? So I said, you know what? I said, because I didn't want to get wet that day on top of it, I didn't want to get wet that day. So I said, you know what? I said, if you can stop it from raining right when I pull in my driveway, right when I'm getting out of the car, okay, we're onto something then, aren't we? Because the only other person that could do stuff like that I'm aware of now, Jesus was doing stuff like that, right? So I mean, this kind of would answer some of the questions I have about he who hath an ear, right? So if I can get God to stop the storm right above my head by the time I get home, well, I get pretty excited about that. That'd be a pretty exciting thing to happen to me, It kind of mean a lot to me, you know what I mean? And I videotaped most of the way home, and let me tell you what happened. So it's raining. In the distance, I videotaped. I'm gonna include that video. In the distance, it stopped raining, like towards my house. Like it was like starting to clear up, just lighter clouds and stuff. But it wasn't like stopped yet or nothing like that. But I could see it clearing up. It's starting to clear up, like starting to move in. Yeah. So by the time I got home, and it was raining buckets, by the way. Like I had my Vipers going full blast. You know what I mean? It was a full-blown storm. It needed the storm. It's been no rain. And but I wanted this storm to end by the time I got out the car, right? So what happens? I get home, okay? I just sat there for a second, and then I go to get out the car, and I pointed the camera up, and the sun was literally coming out of the clouds as I was getting home, as I was getting out the car. Now, this is what I call a miracle, right? Sure. Because why the sun come out right above my head? That's where the sun was, right above my head, coming out the clouds. Okay? Just as I'm getting home. That was a very exciting moment for me. Exciting, scary all at the same time. Right? So, apparently me and God are doing big things together. You know? He who hath an ear. I mean, here's another thing I figured out. You know what I mean? Since we're on the topic and subject matter and all that stuff. So, turns out, on the 14th, now he died, Jesus died at the 9th hour, what's considered to be the 9th hour. I was born 9 pounds, 9 ounces, okay? So we got that covered. Now, I was born, physically born, at 4:30 in the afternoon on the 14th. Now, 4:30 p.m., and then he died at 3 p.m. our time, okay? So, now, there's a debate going on online, but I read somewhere where people do think that the soul leaves an hour and a half later. So, I mean, that's open for debate, right? But we're splitting hairs here, aren't we? We sure are. We sure are, you know? I just happen to be the spark. You know, I just happen to be a creator. I just happen to be the best looking one-eared guy on the planet, probably. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Yeah. Well, it's true, you know? Probably. Yeah. Probably true. Anyways, point is, a lot of points to be made here. A lot of things happening here. And a lot of answers, right? I got my answer. I got out the car. Sun's clearing up. All right. You know what that means, though? It means I gotta get busy. Sure it does. Gotta make heaven on earth. Sure I do. I have a lot of work to do, don't I? It's nice to know God's got my back, though. That's nice. Anyways, I'm gonna put some of the videos up, you know, from the rain and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Show you guys what's up. But yeah, I'll include that in with this video here, and I still have to read from 4:14. And I learned a new way to read the Bible, by the way, too, in the last week. So, I mean, there's a lot going on here. A lot going on here. It's just amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm very excited about it. You guys want to see me get happy? I'll show you the video of me getting giddy. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty exciting, I guess. But it says, you know, they come back 2,000 years later. And since I started reading the Bible, more things have started happening, okay? So there's been progression. There's been, you know, more activity on the earth. Because I started reading the Bible about a year ago, and that's when I got the cross. You see, 2 weeks after I started reading the Bible is when I got the cross. Right on April 19th at 8:05 p.m. And it's on my YouTube. You guys can watch, you know, my video of my cross. And why I'm asking all these questions to God, because we need answers, don't we? Do I have divine authority? Turns out, the 82nd Psalm 82 is all about divine authority. And, you know, I've always wanted to fix world hunger, and that's listed in Psalm 82. And, you know, I'm going to include Psalm 82. I already read it last night. So I'm going to include that in with this video. But we can look at all the Psalms 82. We can look at all the 414s and everything else like that, because that's a very special day. And 4:30, a very special time. It just happens to be when his soul's leaving, right? Yeah. Yeah. So I've got the physical time covered and the soul time covered. Guess how? Timing is everything, right? Yeah, numbers, timing. Yeah. It's one of those things where it's just, now I'm seeing 44 a lot. Matter of fact, I might pull out my Bible right now. I got you guys on here. Find out what 44 means in numbers. You know, because I'm curious. And since we're already at 15 minutes, why not make it a little longer here? So I've been seeing 44 a lot. So we'll go to Psalm 44 first and see what that says. Psalm 44. Yeah, see, I've been seeing 44 non-stop too. That's another one. Another one I've been seeing a lot. I just don't know what it means. Alright. So, alright, let's see. Psalm 44. We have heard with our ears, O God, our fathers have told us what work thou didst in their days, in the times of old, and how thou didst drive out the heathen with thy hand, and plantest them, how thou didst afflict the people, and thou cast them out, for they got not the land in possession by their own sword, neither did their own arm save them. But thy right hand and thine arm, and the light of thy countenance, because thou hadst favor unto them. Thou art my King, O God. Command deliverances for Jacob. Through thee will we push down our enemies. Through thy name we will tread them under that rise up against us. For I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me. But thou hast saved us from our enemies, and hast put them to shame that hated us. In God we boast all the day long, and praise thy name for ever, Selah. But thou hast cast off and put us to shame, and goest not forth with our enemies. Thou makest us turn back from the enemy, and they which hate us spoil for themselves. Thou hast given us like sheep appointed for meat, and hast scattered us among the heathen. Thou sellest thy people for naught, and dost not increase thy wealth by their price. Thou makest us a reproach to our neighbors, a scorn and derision to them that are around us. Thou makest us byword among the heathen, a shaking of the head among the people. My confusion is continually before me, and the shame of my face hath covered me. Yeah. I hear you, dog. They're not even gonna let you finish. You gonna go outside or what? Go outside. Go on. No, of course he doesn't want to go outside. You guys want to see Bear? Bear says hi. Alright, so anyway, he just wants to be pet. So, for the voice of him that reproacheth and blasphemeth by reason of the enemy and avenger, all of this come upon us, yet have we not forgotten thee, neither have we dealt falsely in thy covenant. Well, that's important. And that's Dan 13. Our heart is, that's where we should go next. It's just funny, it says Dan. You know what I mean? My name. And it says, our heart is not turned back, neither have our steps declined from thy way. Thou hast sore broken us in the place of dragons and covered us with the shadow of death. If we have forgotten the name of our God, or stretched out our hands to a strange God, shall not God search this out? For he knoweth the secrets of the heart. And yeah, for thy sake are we killed all the day long. We are counted as sheep for the slaughter. Awake, why sleepest thou, O Lord? Arise, cast us not off forever. Wherefore hiddest thou thy face, and forgottest our affliction and our oppression? For our soul is bowed down to the dust, our belly cleaveth unto the earth. Arise for our help, and redeem us for thy mercy's sake. All right. Amen. So that's what Psalm 44 says. Now let's see what Numbers 44 says. Hold on, let's get the numbers. Oh, quiet down, dog. Yeah. Hold on. Numbers 199. Alright, let's see. 199. Oh, just calm down, dog. I'm gonna get back to M4 14 today. 119. I've been seeing 44 a lot, so let's see if I can find out some more information here. Okay. Alright, come here, dog. Okay, 44. These are those that were numbered, which Moses and Aaron numbered, and that the princes of Israel, being 12 men, each one was for the house of his fathers. Very interesting. Alright. But that's just 44 in one section. But let's go to, let's see if there's an actual 44. Probably not. Yeah, I'll probably have to check a bunch of 44s to see what else it could possibly, what 44 means. I'm going to have to look into it some more. And the dog is driving me nuts. Yeah, he's been going through a hard time lately. Anyways, Yeah, he had a bunch of seizures. When my mom got home from the hospital, I had to say a prayer on the whole house. That seemed to help him out, so he's been doing a lot better. He's very sensitive to everything. Anyways, have a blessed day, everybody. God bless.